The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN and get a $25 deposit bonus. Yes, sir. We're back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no guys, me. Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service.
How about if you sweep it out?
What's the point? I can't do anything right.
You'll do fine.
Hey, pal. You just blowing from Stupid Town?
For sure did. SGA fell 1 point short from me. That hurt. He started like 2 for 12, too. That really hurt. I had 31.5, and SGA came in at 31. Nas Reed didn't do anything at all, so that was just, I didn't even have to worry about that one. Glad I had a good day in W because that game was not it for me. But we got Lonte here. We've got another game to talk about in the Eastern Conference Finals, and we have to get Lonte's thoughts. We haven't heard from him in the Eastern Conference Finals yet. So, another Lonte Smith. Lonte, what's going on?
Not much, man. Doing good. Ready to go.
Yeah, always. I mean, first of all, I have to say my morning is starting off great because I came to sit down to do the show, and I realized that I still had a tissue over here. It was pretty nasty. I was like, oh, let me go ahead and throw this away. But the trash can is like on the other side of the wall, Lonte, so I can't see it. Like, you feel me? So you see where I'm going with this. I can't see the trash can. It's on the other side of the wall, Lonte. I reached over and I just threw it over there, and I sat there. I heard a whoo, and I said, "Oh no way!" Hey man, I pulled over that door, and that joint was sitting in that trash can. And then nobody saw it, bro. Nobody saw it. Oh, it was a no look. Oh, man, nobody saw it. Nobody believed me. I'm just over here telling the story. It's crazy, man. You hate them shots. I'm on the Kobe wave, so that's just telling me that the picks are going to hit today. It's just telling me that we're going to have a good day here. All right. We've got, one game to talk about. Maybe when we get a little bit later, maybe I'll mention something in W. Who knows? But we've got the Eastern Conference Finals. The New York Knicks going up against the Indiana Pacers. Real quick, Lonte, I've already given out my series take. You have any take on the series for the Knicks and the Pacers?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be a competitive series. I like the Knicks to win it in 7. I just think it'll be a back-and-forth series, both teams. I can kind of see both teams winning at home and then being the best of 3. And we just got a classic Game 7 in the Garden on a Sunday afternoon. That's how I foresee it. I don't really see either team like imposing their respective wills on the other and winning like 4-1 or even 4-2. I mean, 4-2 isn't far fetched, but I think like 4-1.
So that's where I have it. I think this is over in 6, Lonte.
Yeah, I mean, 6 is respectable. Yeah, 6
because I don't think either one of them have the heart in them to put the other away in 5 games. But I also don't think either one of them have the heart where if they're in a Game 6 staring down the barrel of a loaded gun, that they're not just going to fold and piss their pants. So I think whoever is up 3-2 when we get to Game 6, regardless if it's the Knicks or the Pacers, I am effectively going to have, in my mind, series is over.
It's not a bad way to look at it. Yeah, I think it'll be competitive, though. I think we'll see a back-and-forth series. Both teams are resilient. Big leads do not deter them from doing what they want to do. But, yeah, man, I think the Knicks are going to win the series in 7 games. So,
well, I would like for you to be right about that, but we'll see. We'll talk about Game 1, though. And, I mean, I don't really have anything. What a second half from that game yesterday. I mean, I think that's a zigzag theory series, so I really don't have anything extra there. Anything you looking?
I mean, just depending on I don't know how far you want to go into it, but yeah, I mean, I think just the Thunder they played a great second half. I thought Minnesota got the shots that they wanted to get in certain aspects, and then they just couldn't capitalize. I thought Julius Randle was really good. Obviously, I think he scored 28.
I was all over Julius Randle yesterday.
Yeah, so I didn't.
Everybody.
Yeah, he scored, but I thought a lot of his points were just threes, which is kind of what you want him to do. So I think he played right into the hand. He was making them. Don't get me wrong. I think being aggressive and getting those guys in foul trouble, getting downhill, is kind of where you want to see Julius Randle scoring his points. Now, granted, in 28, he shot the ball.
Yeah.
Really well.
The threes fell, but next time the threes might not fall, so he needs to be prepared to get down there in the block and bump Chet into the third row.
Yeah. So I think they'll live. I think OKC will live with that. They came out a little rusty. Shea said it in the post game. So I thought Mark Daigneault did a good job with the rotations. I thought he did a great job of getting SG off the ball. Minnesota didn't play a ton of zone, which I don't know if they were waiting to throw that curveball or what, but they used their aggression against them. You see Jaden McDaniels fouled out. They're probably gonna have to make a switch and put probably Ant or a lesser defender on SGA and just play help and just allow those guys to play and allow SGA to play in crowds because he's going to foul McDaniels out. I mean, you
can't have McDaniels off the floor.
McDaniels is just a aggressive defender. He does better against like the physical guards to me. He's kind of like a Richard Sherman corner, or Jalen Ramsey. They're good against physical corners, but when you get, Tyreek Hill, somebody in that moniker, they're too shifty and they're just too aggressive. And Shea's using that aggression against them. So, I think it's gonna be a good series. I think Minnesota will come back and have some adjustments. I think we'll get a better game too.
All right. Reminder, merch store is running a promo, 20% off everything. Make sure you get in there, store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com, get some NBA Gambling Podcast gear, and you can use that promo code DGENS, get you 20% off. All right, let's talk about game one. New York Knicks welcoming the Indiana Pacers to the Mecca of basketball, Madison Square Garden. Knicks open up at 4. They're laying 4.5. 223 is the total. Injury. I don't think I have anything on the injury report here. Let me just double check real quick and make sure I ain't tripping. Let me see here. All right, we got an injury report for this game and nothing on the injury report as I thought. So you will be seeing the starting fives go at it and the bench for the Pacers go up against the starting five for the Knicks still. All right. Lonte. I think I have my mind made up that this is a letdown spot for the Knicks. I feel like that I am not blessed enough for the Knicks to come out here locked into game one and come out here all systems go. They have been really, really slow to start games over the course of the playoffs. And while the Pacers haven't been the best first half team over the course of the season, in the playoffs, they actually started to turn it up a notch a little bit here, especially in game one in Cleveland where they just couldn't, they were making everything. And you know how I feel about when teams come into Madison Square Garden. Now you're playing in Madison Square Garden in the Eastern Conference Finals. This is literally everybody's dream. This is everybody's dream. The Pacers aren't going to be able to miss. And so I'm nervous. I am.
Yeah, I like Knicks, man. I think this is the best defensive team that the Pacers have played. They can match the length and the size on the wings with the Pacers. Obviously, the depth is kind of what most people are going to point to, but I feel like that can be negated with how well OG and Mikal can play on the wings. If they can be able to, force Hallie into being a passer versus being a scorer and make those other guys work, I think you're going to live with Nembhard and Nesmith. Just if they're going to make threes, they're going to make threes. It's got to be the game plan for them. You just can't let Hallie get going. You can't get to skipping and talking and all that kind of stuff because once they see that, it's kind of like an avalanche. Everybody else just builds onto it. But I do think this is the best defensive team that they faced, and Tibbs will have a game plan for them. Nembhard, Nesmith, those guys kind of thrive because if you look at the secondary and third defenders that on those opposing teams, Detroit and the Cavs, there weren't a ton. I mean, outside of Mobley in the middle, they don't really have, and Hunter at certain times, they don't really have a perimeter defender. So Siakam, Nesmith, Nembhard, although they aren't, Nembhard and Nesmith aren't prolific scorers, they were able to get wide open looks and, be able to get more ISO heavy on their looks. I don't think they're not going to be able to do that because you got Mikal, you got Josh Hart, and you got OG. So I'm interested to see how Tibbs does the matchups. I would assume that OG is going to play a lot on Pascal, former teammates, similar game, similar style. And I would probably put I would probably put Josh Hart on Hallie just to have him get in his personal space, kind of make him put the ball on the floor, drive to the rim, and you want Cat to kind of play and help side and be able to block shots and stay out of foul trouble. So I think the Knicks are interesting here. I like the better at 4, obviously, but I think it's still a good play because the Knicks haven't really played. They played one good game in that Boston series. They didn't really play a ton of good games.
The closeout game.
they didn't really play a ton of good quality games. They had good quality moments in that series, but they didn't play complete basketball. I thought the Pacers played peak level in their 2 series. So,
which makes it interesting how you're now going against the Pacers and backing the Knicks.
Yeah, but I think this is a better matchup for the Knicks than it is for the Pacers.
It is. I agree.
Yeah.
If you asked me and you told me that this was a 5-on-5, Drew League, Pro-Am, whatever, give me the Knicks. But unfortunately, it's not. And the Knicks, when you get to the bench scoring, you have Deuce McBride, where hit or miss. You've got Mitchell Robinson, typically miss. And then you have Campaign, who I think should never step foot on a basketball court in the NBA. Yikes. Meanwhile, the Pacers have Ben Mathurin, who is cool. Obi Toppin, all right. I mean, I'm personally not really worried about Obi Toppin, but there are some other people in the gambling space that are very worried about Obi Toppin.
Should be worried about Mathurin.
Oh, no. The person I'm worried about is Lonte. Fucking white boy.
McConnell.
God damn it. He kills the Knicks. Why? He kills the Knicks. They've had, how long has it been since the Knicks played basketball? 4 days? 5 days?
Yeah, I think 4 or 5 days.
Bro, can they please figure out how to guard TJ McConnell? Give me TJ. Well, I'm not even going to get to the player props because we'll talk about that in a second. But please figure out how to guard TJ McConnell. Because TJ McConnell is going to ruin this series. I'm telling you, it's going to be this obscure freaking player that's going to come off the bench. They're going to have like 20 points. It's going to piss me off over the course of the entire series. So I'm on the Pacers in this first game, plus 4.5. I just think that as a Knicks fan, I'm not blessed enough to get to the first game of the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in my adult life, seeing that. And the Knicks are completely locked in after a series where they just were not playing their best basketball. Granted, a significantly better team, but they weren't playing their best basketball. And I think adjustment has to come. So I think Pacers get out early in this game. I like Pacers first half. I think the Pacers potential plus 4.5 is a good play because I could see this being like a Brunson last shot. He won it in game 1 and we're excited. And I'm coming back up here talking about Bing Bong and all of that. Or they just completely fold in and lose the game. So I'll take the Pacers.
Yeah, I think the Knicks can they have to start off better. That's been a constant theme for obvious reasons. We saw it all series with Boston. But technically, they didn't really play well in the first quarter in the Detroit series as well. I think they were like maybe like -3 in those 6 games in the first quarter. But again, I think both of these teams have similar profiles. Like they both are really, really resilient. They don't get flustered when the lead is 12 or 13. They kind of just play their style. But I do think it's something to be said about the defensive effort that the Knicks have versus the defensive effort that the other teams have. And I think that team concept is going to be big on how they defend those guys because they're going to play a lot of those teams play drop coverage. Cat can get up on, now he has to stop fouling, but he can actually be up on that screen and they can play a little bit more in space. And that's kind of going to negate some of the things that they want to do because Indiana's they want to get to the mid range. They want to get to the mid range. I think they shoot like more mid range or better at mid range than any team in the NBA, specifically in the playoffs. And if they can shut that off and make them take tough shots, I mean, you got to live. I'll live with Miles Turner taking 28 footers with a hand in his face or a light contest. I'll live with Nesmith taking a closeout. I'll live with Nembhard because you're gonna have to live with something. You don't want Hadley, you don't want Pascal to kind of get going. But I do think Pascal and OG will cancel each other out. I really do. And I think the other 3 players are better than the Pacers' other 3 players. That's how I'm looking at the series, and that's how I'm looking at game 1. I think it'll be a really good tone set by New York. And one thing I want to see Tibbs do, and you mentioned McConnell, is whenever Jalen's in the game, like let's not have Jalen bring the ball up. Let's have Josh Hart. Let's have OG, let's have somebody else bring the ball up. So Jalen Brunson is not working for 6-7 seconds to get up the floor, pass the ball, and then get it back. And you're into the offense with like 10 seconds left. So let's get Jalen, to half court. You got 4 players that are comfortable dribbling. They can get the ball up the court without less pressure. Get the ball to Jalen in spots, let him operate offense with 15 to 16 seconds versus 9 to 10. And I think that's something that they have to employ early in the series to negate that pressure, because the pressure's coming. They're going to press relentless, especially knowing that you don't have to dip. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Pacers play, 11, 12 guys, probably the whole roster, just to kind of see how it wears down on. And it might not work in game 1, but over the analytics show over a certain amount of time, if they're only playing 5.5, 6 players, then that's eventually going to wear them down. So I think that we'll see. I think we'll see a lot of Jalen off ball initially in the full court, just to get some pressure off him. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that chess match is with Tibbs and Carlisle, 2 good coaches.
All right. Edge boost is the first step. Wait, hold on. Just to make sure everybody knows, Lonte's on the Knicks laying 4.5.
Yep.
Lonte is very close to swaying me, but my pessimism doesn't allow me to pick the Knicks in this spot or at all in this series, honestly. But I really feel like the Pacers are going to piss me off and do something really annoying here. Edge Boost, first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums. Earn cashback rewards. 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, who is going long for the NBA playoffs with their extender bonus, the Scott Foster. Hop in game 1 of the New York Knicks series. And the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. And I promise you're going to want to see how big this bonus gets with it if this gets to a game 7 like Lonte predicted. So head over there to NBA SGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code NBA SGPN, and we'll do our underdog lineup at the end of the show, of course. But let's talk about player props right now, Lonte. What do you like here? And the total. What do you like for the total? What do you like for player props?
Total, I like over. I think we'll see a lot of pace. Obviously, the Pacers are going to pressure the ball. That could lead to some turnovers. The Knicks aren't the greatest at taking care of the ball. I think that pressure may weigh on them. Again, I just think that the Knicks defensively will be able to force some turnovers as well, take the ball out of Tyrese hands, force those other guys to kind of create, which is something that they don't want to do. And I think Josh Howard will play a significant role in being able to make others beat them and be up in Tyrese's space to kind of force him to either A, get off the ball, or B, force some bad shots or turnovers. So I like the over. I think both teams will be able to score. I'm more so expecting the Knicks to kind of be able to get to the rim a little bit more, bring Miles Turner out, because I'm assuming he'll be on Cat. But regardless of who he's on, he's the only rim protector that they have. So if he's in the perimeter, driving lanes for OG, driving lanes for Mikal. Mikal doesn't take a lot of layups, so he's going to take a 8 or 9 foot pull up.
He's going to fade away when nobody's at the rim.
Yeah. So and you got Brunson getting downhill. Obviously, we should see a ton of. I wish you could bet Brunson post up, because I would bet the over. I think he's going to post up a ton. So yeah, I think it'll be efficient. I think it'll be a lot of pace. So I like the over.
Over under half non-Nemhard charges in this game on the drive.
Probably 4 and over.
Yeah, they never call him on that.
And he extends, like, literally just.
Like, he bullies him. And I'm just like, okay, bro. Like, I get it. He is strong for a guard, but, like, he's pushing off, man. That's not getting called all series. Okay, so I went on the Mothership Pod. By the way, I gave out Timberwolves first half money line on the Mothership Pod, and that hit. And I would love to tout that just because of how the game ended. Great call. But with that, I'm going for the sweep on the Mothership Pod. Don't want to jinx anything. No. Cat over 19.5 is what I played there. I think it's at 20.5 now.
22.
22 now?
I see 22, yeah.
I love Cat in this game. I love Cat in this series. I don't think they have an answer for him. Cat's destroyed the Pacers almost every single step along the way when he's played them. You look at Cat's numbers versus the Pacers here. Lost page. There we go. And he's had 40, 30, 21 in his 3 games as a New York Knicks in scoring. Go back into the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's had 40, 23, 15, 32, 32, 30, 27, 42. I mean, would you like me to keep going, Lonte? These numbers are ridiculous.
No, I'm with you because I like Cat as well.
These numbers are ridiculous, what he's doing to the Pacers. And so I am on Cat to have a big game. I've also already given out on my other show, Jalen Brunson, over 28.5 as well. I think that what's going to frustrate me about the game as I'm watching is I'm going to see a lot of Jalen Brunson and Cat and nobody else, and that's going to piss me off. And that's going to be the thing that makes me very frustrated. So I'm going to just go ahead and just bet it. And plus, I'm very, very tired, Lonte, of watching these series and not betting Jalen Brunson. Like, do you know how frustrated I was the last time they played the Pacers? And Brunson was just going over. And I'm like, man, do I want to jump in now? What if now's the time he has the bad game? That's going to piss me. No, I'm just going to go ahead and bet it off the rip. Jalen Brunson going over. What if he averages like 35 for this series, man? Like,
nobody would be surprised.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and just start betting over with Jalen Brunson now. And hopefully he just has the same run that he had the last time he played Pacers in the finals. I mean, and not in the finals, but in the playoffs. What else we got here, Lonte? Those are 2 that I've already given out.
I mean, I like Towns too. Just echo the same sentiments that you just said. I also like Josh Hart, PRA. I think he'll be defended as a guy who's going to be dared to take shots. Obviously, we know the rebounds are going to be there. I think he'll be an initiator. Talked about Jalen Brunson being off ball. Josh Hart is a prime candidate to play the Draymond role where he is all alone because they're daring him to shoot, and he comes off, and Brunson's coming off the pin downs, and he's finding guys at the rim or, in rhythm shooting a jump shot. So I like Josh Hart, PRA over. Also like Deuce McBride. I do think that the TJ McConnell thing, they'll probably try to match those minutes because Deuce can be a jolt of energy. He can play with a lot of energy, especially if those shots are falling early and he gets into a rhythm. So I like Miles McBride to go over his points as well. I think he'll have some opportunities to get on the floor and play decent minutes.
Bro, if he better match something TJ McConnell doing. If TJ McConnell ain't doing nothing, cool. But like, if he doing something, you better be doing something with him. With that being said, TJ McConnell's points and assists are at 9.5. Lonte, he's been over this in 9 of his last 12 games against the New York Knicks. In fact, I would love to read off for you his stat line in points and assists: 22, 21, 22, 7, 25, 12. 19, 12, 9, 13. And it's at 9.5. It's at 9.5. He kills the Knicks, man. It's really annoying, and it's gonna frustrate me. I'm gonna bet him the entire series. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna bet that up too and try to get some plus money. They can't guard TJ McConnell. And when they start, especially when they start running with pace and he starts getting going in transition, that's really it. Like it don't even be a lot of the half court stuff all the time. It really be a lot of he starts moving in transition and he just starts making plays, the hee and all of that. I'm really just over TJ McConnell, over 9.5 points and assists. I would be very glad not to hit that bet, but I think I am going to hit it.
Yeah, I like Benedict Mathurin off the bench. I think he's going to play. He didn't play in the series last year. I think he's a catalyst. He's going to be feisty, and I think he'll be one of those guys that New York ends up hating after probably about 10 to 15 minutes into the game when he gets in, because he is feisty. He's going to talk. I mean, he was talking to Giannis in the first game. He's talking to Don in the second game. But he was producing, man. He was producing off the bench. He's got a really good downhill game. He can shoot it a little bit. So yeah, I like Benedict Mathurin to have a pretty big series as well.
Oh yeah, he and Josh Hart ain't finna like each other.
Oh yeah.
For sure. He and Josh Hart for sure not finna like each other. Yeah. They gonna get into it. We could go ahead. Over under a half a tech for Ben Mathurin in this first game.
Yeah.
On the road.
Yeah, it's gonna be over.
Over, yeah. Shoot, I might even ladder that. Might have to ladder that half a tech.
It depends on if the shot's falling or not. Hey,
man. Yeah, he might just go ahead and pack it in and be like, you know what? I'll be the energy for game 1, and I'll come back in game 2. Yo, Ben Mathurin gets into it with everybody recently. He's definitely been very, very, very bad at folks. All right. Anything else here, Lonte?
No, that's about it.
All right. Rhythm. Let's talk about Rhythm, because you can head over there and you can bet with Rhythm the whole NBA playoffs. They're going to give you a bunch of players props. They're going to give you a bunch of ATS against the spread picks, all of that over there at Rhythm. So lock in, tap into the NBA playoffs, PGA, MLB, WNBA. They have all of it over there for Rhythm. And you can get a 7-day free trial right now. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. You can get 25% off a monthly subscription as well. Promo code SGPN25. You can also get a 50% off annual subscription with promo code SGPN50. So head over there to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM for a chance to get that. We're also brought to you by Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. They are giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience. What can you win? I'll tell you. You can win a 2-night stay for you and your entire 12-team league at Circa Resort. You can win a $5,000 food and beverage credit where you can have your draft with that credit at Stadium Swim. If you've never been to the beautiful Stadium Swim, look it up on, well, it depends on your age demographic. Some folks might have to look it up on Google to see what it looks like. Other folks might use ChatGPT. The real youngins, they just gonna type it in on TikTok and be like, let me go see what this look like on TikTok. So why don't you go check out Stadium Swim? As soon as you look at it, you're gonna want to enter this contest immediately. You also get limo transportation to and from the airport. You get a welcome party at Legacy Club. You get a reservation at the world's largest sports book with a $500 drink credit. And then you also get a 2-hour open bar package. If you're not already drunk as hell and throwing up everywhere, you still got a 2-hour open bar package over there at Overhang Bar. So contest is from now until June 30th. Make sure you go enter sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com. One more time, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag, your place to bet every single sport in the NBA playoffs. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations, so make sure you go over there, check, make sure you're supported, and you can easily deposit and get lightning fast payouts. And I mean, it's so fast, you could do it, put your phone down, go use the bathroom, come back. Money's already in your account because they use cryptocurrency. So make sure you do that. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Well, I'll tell you, the only regret I have in life is, one, not knowing about Bitcoin before it was Bitcoin. And two, after learning about Bitcoin, thinking that I was already too late to jump in. And I didn't jump in. And I could have still jumped in at that point and still made a good amount of money. Disappointing. But as long as I'm not the guy that gave a whole Bitcoin for a pizza, I'm not that guy. I would be sick to my stomach if I was just treating Bitcoin like it was a free pepperoni pizza. I would be over it. That'd be my 13th reason. What's Bitcoin at right now?
I'm too poor to even know about any of that stuff.
Oh, dude, I just go to Cash App. Cash App tells me everything I need to know. Let me see. What's Bitcoin at? $108,000. I'm pretty sure when they were talking about Bitcoin, it was like, oh, Bitcoin was crazy. It was at like $17,000. And I'm like, oh, I missed it. I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I missed it. It's at $17,000. I could be rich. Bro, that joint's at $100,000 right now.
Dang.
Dude, what? I could have put $20 in. When did I figure out about that? I feel like I was still in college. I could have put $20 in and forgot about it. Came back, and I probably would have took it out and threw it on a parlay. Not gonna lie. I have a problem. I admit it. It's okay. All right, let's go ahead and close this out. Lonte, lock, dog, underdog lineup. Get up out of here.
Yeah, lock. I'm gonna take the Knicks to win. 4.5 is the number. I think they win convincingly. I think it'll be a competitive game though. But in the end, too much Brunson. I'm guessing. How I perceive the game to go out would be, kind of like they're up 3 or 4, like 3 minutes to go. Stop. Brunson 3. Brunson free throws. Push it. They push it to 9, and they get a stop, and they win by 7 or 8. So I'm going with the Knicks tonight. Get off on a good quality game under their belt. which will boost that confidence even more. Put some pressure on Indiana. They have not trailed in a series yet. Let's make them, obviously it's only one game, but let's make them make the first big adjustment and go into their bag of tricks a little bit early. So I like the Knicks minus the 4.5. For the dog, I'm going to lay out a Karl Towns 3-pick parlay, 5-1.
What?
3 plus threes.
Okay.
10 plus rebounds, 20 plus points. That pays you 5-1. That's at FanDuel.
Okay. Is there any concern about the finger injury for Cat with the threes? Because I will admit, all 4 of us on the Mothership Pod said Cat wasn't hitting no threes anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think he was taking as many as he should. This specific series, I think the pick and roll with him and Brunson will be really effective because they're going to bring Miles Turner up because that's what they want. They want Miles Turner on Jalen Brunson. So let's bring Miles Turner up. Let's get that switch, pick and pop. Cat, I think he'll be effective and make a ton of threes. If you want to just take his threes, I mean, that 3 plus threes is 2-1. So
we definitely have. We may or may not have a Cat 40 plus point game and less than 1.5 3-pointers made at 280 something to 1. So there may or may not be a $5 bonus bet on that. Just throwing that out there for the people. A little bit of reverse correlation there. All right, so you've got the Cat parlay as your dog. You said it's 5-1?
5-1, yep.
Jeez, I don't know if I'm gonna get a dog that close. All right, lock. I've already gave out Cat. I've already gave out Brunson. You know what? I like your bench player plan. I do. Let's go with Ben Mathurin for the lock. 10.5 points. Let me double check. Can you hear me? Am I good? Everybody can still hear me? I feel like I don't hear anything in my headphones.
No, you can.
Oh, okay. I felt very quiet in my headphones. I'm like, whoa. I don't even know if everybody can hear me still. All right. Oh, yeah. For the last 5, he's been over. Yeah. Okay. So Ben Mathurin, 10.5 points lock. Just had to double check that. Dog. TJ McConnell. Points and assists. Wow, if their bench just completely sucks today, it's not going to be good for me. TJ McConnell, 15 plus points and assists. Plus 290. Wow. So what's that? 8 and 7? 8 and 7? Okay. What's the points, rebounds, and assists at? Ooh. Okay, I'll play it a little bit safer. Give me the points, rebounds, and assists. 15 plus at plus 160. A little bit safer.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, a little bit safer. Points, rebounds, and assists. 15 plus 160. That's my dog. All right, let's get into Underdog and close things out here, Lonte.
Yeah, man, I think it's pretty simple. We go Benedict Mathurin, points, Cat, PR, and McConnell, PA. That's pretty simple. I think we liked all
Wow, Lonte. Wow. Whoa, Lonte. Slow down. you gotta ease us into it here, Lonte. Whoa, you're
I thought it was pretty easy.
Hey, he threw that in there real quick, didn't he? Hey, Lonte, slow down, bro. Buy me dinner first. All right, hold on. Cat PR. We said Cat PR. I got Ben Mathurin up here. I got McConnell up here. And then I got to get Cat PR up here. Where's Cat PR at? Whoa, hold on. There it is. 34.5.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got TJ McConnell higher, 9.5 points and assists. Ben Mathurin higher, 10.5 points, and Karl Anthony Towns higher, 34.5 points and rebounds.
It's a winner.
Yep. And throw that into Underdog Fantasy. Shake it up. It gets you $100. Gets you $600 over there at Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. Claim your special pick and first time deposit offer. With that, Lonte, anything else for the people until we get up out of here?
That's about it, man.
I'm not saying I have a 280-1 cat bonus bet, but I'm not saying that I have a bonus bet on cat 280-1. Yeah, man. Dude, if Cat were to do some nut stuff like that, the 40 plus point game for Cat is coming in this series. I feel pretty confident about that, actually. I just don't know which game is going to happen. And if he just doesn't hit threes, what? All right. 281. That's crazy. I'm going to play that every single game of this series. I put $5 on that every single game. That's 5 times 6, 30. Okay, max $30 loss. But if it hits, dude, yeah, I'm going to continue to do that. All right. Not anything else for people before we get up out of here?
I mean, that's it. Best of luck to everybody.
All right. He's at XXLonte, XX on X. I am at reallyraw__. Make sure you give us a follow at SGPN NBA. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcast. Like the video on YouTube on the way out. And yes, the Indiana Fever game was a huge sweat last night. And in fact, you probably want to just go ahead and get down on Indiana laying 3.5 here, as the deja vu game was completely it was great deja vu first game. We got the
Pop showed up to play.
Got the over, got the dog, and the dog on the money line. Now you get to back the favorite on the road. Yeah. Take Fever, laying 3.5. All right. With that, nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending podcast. Just gonna like this. We are out of here.
Basketball